They want us to show how the company can hedge its foreign exchange exposure using forward market cover. Forward market cover is the same as forward contract. Forward market cover is the same as forward contract. And then number 2, ladies and gentlemen, they want us to use the money market cover. The money markets what here? Cover. So what are they telling us up here? They're telling us, if you read, Jackie's Limited is a company based in France. It's based in France. We are told it's based in France, where the euro is widely used, meaning that the home currency is the euro. The home currency is the euro. The company has recently imported raw materials from the USA. So when we import raw materials, we expect to receive the raw materials and of course make a payment. So here I can see a situation where I'm expected to make a foreign payment. So you're told here that the company has recently imported raw materials from the USA and has been invoiced for US dollars, $240,000, payable in 3 months' time. Payable in 3 months' time. In addition, the company has exported finished goods to the US and Australia. The customer in the US has been invoiced for US dollars 69,000, payable in 3 months' time. And the Australian customer has been invoiced Australian dollars 395,000, payable in 4 months' time. The current spot and forward exchange rates are given as follows. So you can see the US dollars per euro, you can see the spot, you can see the 3 months forward. So we have euro etc. The current money market interest rates per annum are given as follows. Money market interest rates, of course, this will be used in Roman 2. In Roman 1, we don't use these at all. Roman 1, we don't need rates of interest. So I would want us to tackle the forward market cover. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a straightforward question. Why am I saying it's a straightforward question? It's because the examiner has given us 2 periods. How many months? 3 months first and 4 months. So the moment I know that those periods should be treated separately, then I'm good to go. I'm good to go. I'm good to go. So first of all, we start with 3 months. Let's start with 3 months. Let's start with 3 months. So right there, 3 months. 3 months. So right there, 3 months. 3 months. So we start with the 3 months. 3 months, very easy. So 3 months. So you write there, 3 months. So first of all, we tackle the financial transactions, the financial transactions, the financial transactions, the financial transaction, the financial transactions. So these 3 months, what do we expect? The 3 months, ukiangalia vizuri, I'm so sure Mercy Osingo alipata correct. In these 3 months, naambiwa, the company has recently imported raw materials from the USA and has been invoiced for US dollars $240,000, payable in 3 months. So I can see $240,000. And these dollars, ladies and gentlemen, we are being told that there is a result of an importation. So we have done what here? We have imported. So when we import, what do we expect? We expect to pay. So the 240,000, the 240,000, the 240,000, ladies and gentlemen, the 240,000, the 240,000 is a payable. This is a payable. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we have another 69,000 there coming still as a result within the 3 months. In those 3 months, ladies and gentlemen, we are told in these 3 months, if I was to pin back my question, we are told here Yes, in addition, the company has exported finished goods. So when we export goods outside there, we expect to receive money. We expect to receive money. Whenever you hear the word exported, never be confused by this examiner. In addition, the company has exported finished goods to the USA and where? Australia. The customer in the USA has been invoiced for US $69,000 payable in 3 months' time. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't be cheated by that word payable. It's supposed to be a receivable to us as a firm. Why? Because this is as a result of exportation. I'm reading again. I'm told that in addition, the company has exported goods to the USA and Australia. The customer in the USA has been invoiced for US dollars 69,000 payable in 3 months' time. To the customer, the 69,000 is a payable amount. But to us, we are going to receive the money. We are looking at this in the context of the company, in the context of the company. And the Australian customer has been invoiced Australian dollars 395,000 payable in 4 months' time. Now we don't want to look at the 4 months' time for now. For now, ladies and gentlemen, what we want is to do an analysis for how many months? 3 months. So come and net off. Please net off here. Give us a net off. So a net off, what do we have? Imported is payable. Payable is minus 240,000 plus receivable, which is 69,000, like that. Receivable is a cash inflow. Is a cash inflow. Payable is a cash outflow. So could you kindly give me this answer? Kindly give me this answer. Kindly give me this answer. What do we have here, somebody? What do we have here, somebody? 171,000 negative. 171,000 negative, meaning that this is 171,000 net payable. These are dollars, 171,000 net payable because of the negative. It shows at the end of the day, we'll be required to do what here? To pay. At the end of the day, we shall be required to pay. It's a net payable. It's a net payable. It's a net payable. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, having discovered that this is a net payable, the next thing that I will do is to tell my examiner the role of the bank. Could you kindly give me the role of the bank? Kindly give me the role of the bank. Kindly give me the role of the bank. Kindly give me the role of the bank. Give me the role of the bank. Patapotea wengi hawaongei hivi, it's a net payable. What will the bank be doing at the end of the day? What will be the, great, great. Because the person who taught me this told me something that I've never forgotten up to date. He told me, the person who taught me this, he told me that there is nothing as good as getting a foreign boyfriend. Why? Because a foreign boyfriend normally does what here? Buys. Anytime you think about receivable, if it's a receivable, remember our general rule of a foreign boyfriend. Foreign boyfriend. This R stands for receivable. Anytime we talk of receivable, just remember the foreign boyfriend always does what here? Buys. So receivable, I'm repeating this again. Receivable, receivable, receivable. The bank in this case here does what here? Buys. But for a payable, the bank does what here? Sells. The bank sells. For a payable, the bank sells. For a payable, the bank sells. For a payable, the bank sells. So it's just a normal thing. If you look at this from the international perspective, that you as a company, if you are a Kenyan and you'd want to pay some international supplier, perhaps in this case, somebody has given you a vehicle, which is dollar denominated. How do you get to make this international payment and you're a Kenyan who has a Kenya shillings in his pocket? The only thing that you'll do is to go to a bank and buy the dollars. So if it's a payable, for you to be able to pay these international suppliers, ladies and gentlemen, then the bank has to sell to you the dollars. Ladies and gentlemen, if you yourself, in this case here, receive some foreign currency, like you have the dollars being sent to you by Trump, Perhaps you have done something very nice for Trump, and Trump says, Kenya, kamata milioni moja. Hii milioni moja itakuja kwako tap ikiwa dollar. So ikiwa dollar, what do? Tap kwa bank. The bank will be able to do what here to buy from you. The role of the bank. The best where we have reached, ladies and gentlemen, right now, the person who has got great power of memorizing, cramming, will always have an upper hand. That always for receivable, the bank buys. Always for payable, the bank does what here? Sells. So this is a payable, and the payable, we've said, the bank does what here? The bank sells. Ladies and gentlemen, having discovered that, the next thing that I will want to know is the exchange rate, the 3 months exchange rate. The 3 months exchange rate, what do we have here? The 3 months exchange rate, the 3 months exchange rate, we are told here 3 months. You can see here, US dollars per euro. 3 months. You can see, leave alone the spot. Whenever they talk about forward exchange rate, spot becomes useless. Whenever they talk over forward, like now here, the examiner in the requirement, the examiner wants us to do what here? To talk about forward, to use forward to hedge. So 3 months, you can see the 3 months forward exchange rate. Oh yeah, it is 0.9520. It is 0.9520 all the way to what here? All the way to 0.9525. 0.9525. If you look up there, you'll be able to see US dollars. You'll be able to see US dollars per who? Per euro. Wanasema per 1 euro. Per euro. US dollars per euro. You'll be able to see the US dollars per euro. Ladies and gentlemen, once umeshaandika exchange rate namna hii vizuri, hii ni ya 3 months forward. Hii ni ya 3 months forward. Mbona sijachukua ya 4 months jameni? Sijachukua ya 4 months because saizi to analyze 3 months. So once I've been able to write my exchange rate very well like this, najiuliza, which currency is my home currency? Which currency is my home currency? Home currency yangu ni gani? Home currency yangu ni gani? Usikaniambie Kenya shilling na sababu ni Mkenya. Soma question. Wewe sasa unajiona ukiwa Jackies. Wewe unajua unafanya analysis kama Jackies, yes. Because tumeambiwa kwamba, ladies and gentlemen, Jackie is based. Thank you very much. I can see what they're writing. Tumeambiwa hapa kwamba Jackie is based in France, where the euro is widely used. So the euro happens automatically to be what here? To be our home currency. Ladies and gentlemen, given that the euro is on the right-hand side, my home currency is on the right-hand side, which figure between the two will be the buying rate? Between the two, which figure will be the buying rate? Between the two, which figure will be the buying rate? Because normally the buying rate is positional to my home currency. I can see they are telling me it is 0.9525 years. Because the euro is the right-hand side figure, then the right-hand side currency, then the right figure here becomes the buy. This becomes the buy, this becomes the sell, like that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, remember what you have told us here, that the bank is doing what here? Selling. So, and as such, you pick the selling rate. So the bank sells at 0.9520 US dollars per euro. 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 Ladies and gentlemen, once I've done that, now I need to come and straight away exchange. Go ahead and exchange. Go ahead and exchange. While exchanging, like I saw some students who had done her homework very well, while exchanging, naweza nikatumia mother tongue. Nikasema pale 0.9520 US dollar equals 1 euro. How about 171,000? 171,000 US dollar. How about 171,000 US dollar? US dollar. How about 171,000 US dollar? So kwa furaha, ebu cross multiply kwa furaha. Cross multiply kwa furaha, tuko na 171,000 US dollar times 1 euro times 1 euro all over 0.9520 US dollar. I can see the US dollar cancelling out, so that the final answer will be in form of what here? Euros, of which I can see some students already have given me a figure, 179, 622 euros. 179, 622 euros. 179, 622 euros. 622 euros. I hope that is clear, and I hope everyone is comfortable. Thank you very much. 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 Asante sana. Now, there is a student who wants us to repeat how we came up with our currency. How we came up with our currency. Remember what I told you in our last class. If you're given, for example, and I would want even to use this particular question that we used in our last class. If you're given, like, say, for example, 28 to 32 Tanzania shillings per Kenya shilling. And then we have here, Aura has received 32 million. I'm a millionaire in terms of Tanzania shillings. 32 million Tanzania shillings. So you are required here to determine the equivalent of the above amount, determine the amount above in Kenya shillings. The amount above in Kenya shillings, hebu saidia mwalimu tuone jameni. Determine the amount above in Kenya, for us to be able to answer that student. For us to be able to answer the student who is asking us. Determine the amount above in Kenya shillings. Na siku hizi naona wanafunzi wengi wakiuliza kama class itakuwa. Mimi nikishasoma mtihani iko mbele, hakuna kucancel classes. Hata ukiomba aje, hakuna siku class inakosekana. Hata usiulize swali kama hiyo kwa group. Class lazima ikue. So long as exam iko mbele, class lazima ikue. Josam has been able to give us a figure. 1 million. Josam has been able to give us a figure. I'm waiting for the other students to as well dive in. 1 million Kenya shillings from Lucy Naisenya. Most of them are telling me 1 million Kenya shillings. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, I know the biggest, for the many years that I've been marking CASNEB exams, I know I don't even have to go through whatever a student has done. Provided I get to see how they get started, I'll be able to earn marks for free even without seeing their workings. I'll be able to put a wrong, because I know, for the many years that I've marked for CASNEB, I know. Students normally tend to think that this currency question is all about mother tongue. It's like you're selling cows. You know, for cows, you have to buy at a lower rate, and then you sell what here? You sell at a higher rate. If you do it this way, the bank, I was able to prove to you the bank will make a loss. Why? Because Tanzania shilling is a weaker currency in comparison to the Kenya shilling. It's a weaker currency. And as such, here we have what we call an indirect quotation. It's an indirect quote. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't even have to know the difference between indirect and direct. What you need to know ni kitu ya kutingiza kamkono. Uangalie the Kenya shilling iko pande gani. The Kenya shilling, ladies and gentlemen, is on this side. The Kenya shilling is on the right-hand side. If the Kenya shilling is on the right-hand side, then the right-hand side figure becomes the buy. So in this case here, the bank, remember, for indirect quotes, the banks buy high and they sell low. And the very best thing is to always go with your home currency. Our home currency is the Kenya shilling. So we have here buy, and then we have what here sell. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Aura receivable, it's a receipt. If it's a receivable, I will remember very fast my foreign boyfriend concept. Foreign boyfriend buys dinner. So in this case, it is the bank. The bank will do what? The bank will buy. The bank will buy. So the bank will buy the Tanzania shillings at what rate? At 32. At 32 Tanzania shillings per Kenya shilling. From there, go ahead and exchange for us. Go ahead and exchange for us. So how do you get to exchange? How do you get to exchange? How do you get to exchange, ladies and gentlemen? Remember, if I'm the one, I don't even have to do it in the mother tongue way. The moment I see 32 Tanzania shillings, and then I see that these are Tanzania shillings as well, I know for sure that there is no way I will multiply. If I try multiplying, I'll get an answer which will be in terms of Tanzania shillings, what is squared, which will be in form of Tanzania shillings squared. I can't multiply the two. The only way out is to divide this with the exchange rate so that I can have Tanzania shillings canceling out, and then we'll be left with Kenya shilling. We'll be left with Kenya shilling. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I'll do here, I'll come and divide. So the final answer here will be 32 million. The final answer here will be 32 million Tanzania shillings. Divide this by 32 Tanzania shillings per Kenya. So this and this cancels out, giving us 1 million. Most of us indeed wrote 1 million, but 1 million what? Cows, dogs, Kenya shillings. 1 million, Kenya what year? Kenya shilling, like that. So I hope I've been able to answer your question. I hope I've been able to answer your, ladies and gentlemen, once you have understood this, now we should be able to hit the road of what year? 4 months. Now we should be able to hit the road of 4 months. 4 months, what are we expecting there? 4 months, what are we expecting there? Please give me the amount, my great students. 4 months, please give me the amount. Give me the amount. 4 months. 4 months amount. 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 I can see students really who are jumping in. They are telling me nicely 395,000 Audi. Wewe Josa mmejaribu, lakini usiniambie answer kama hii. Hata jadili usiniambie answer kama hiyo. Najua amount ni ngapi, lakini lazima uniambie kama ni receivable ama ni payable. That is really what will move me. Lazima uniambie kama ni receivable ama ni payable. Doreen says receivable. Okocha says receivable. Thank you. And Katelo the same. Thank you and thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you and thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are. Let's see whether we are together. We are told, and the Australian customer has been invoiced Australian dollar, 395,000, payable. Quite confusing in 4 months' time. But you see, it's a payable from whose perspective? From the client's perspective. How about us as jackies who are based in France? As we have exported, whenever you export, you expect to receive money. Whenever you export, you expect to receive money. So the 395,000 Australian dollar happens to be an amount that is coming as a result of an exportation. And for exportation, ladies and gentlemen, we expect in this case here to receive. And if it's a receivable, there is one thing that none of you has remembered to tell me. I mean, why are we really wanting to know whether it's a receivable or a payable? This word receivable. Is it a flower? Is it a rose flower? Is it a flower? Thank you very much, Mahalim. Very good. Mercy tells me that now the role of the bank is to do what? To buy receivable, foreign boyfriend, receivable, to know the role of the bank. And as such, I want to believe, Okocha, you know that for receivable, the bank does what here? The bank buys. So in this case here, the bank buys. You can even write by the side there, foreign what here? Boyfriend. Remember, everybody in this world, including your examiners, everyone loves humor. Everybody loves humor. Very good. Now, after you do that, what do you think in this case here will be the next thing for us to think about? What do you think will be the next thing, ladies and gentlemen? Pata potea. What do you think will be the next thing? Before, what are you exchanging? But not Japata exchange rate. Peter. Exchange rate. Lazima tuangalie exchange rate. Lazima tuangalie exchange rate. So exchange rate, yes. The exchange rate, remember now we are looking at the Australian dollar vis-a-vis the euro. Australian dollar vis-a-vis the euro. Australian dollar vis-a-vis the euro. Are you able to see the 4 months forward exchange rate? The 4 months forward exchange rate. The 4 months forward exchange rate. The 4 months forward exchange rate. Yes, I'm able to see it myself. Pretty first. Lakini sitaki kusema sana hiyo mimi sababu because for the number of years that I've been doing this question, mtu anaweza kuambia mwalimu umekram. So 4 months forward, I can see 4 months forward 1.9, 510, 510 to 1.9, 540, 1.9, 540, 540, 540. And I could see indeed so many students gave me this figure correctly. But now what I'm wondering, ladies and gentlemen, none of them gave me the currencies involved. None of them give me the currency involved. Currencies. It's an exchange rate, so we expect 2 currencies. We expect 2 currencies. We expect 2 currencies. So could you kindly give me these currencies involved? Euro and ASD. Euro per ASD. Yes, Euro per ASD. If you look at this, ladies and gentlemen, you'll be able to see it is euro. Look at how they're writing euro per ASD. So this is euro per ASD, Australian dollar. So ladies and gentlemen, I would want you to tell me, after you see this euro and the ASD, what do you think in this case here will be the next thing to be done? There is the concept of identifying, given that these are 2 values, there is the concept of identifying the buy stroke what here, the sell, which I would want you great people to help me do that. Which I would want you great people to help me do that. Which one is the buying rate? 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 Pata potea, which one is the buying rate? Those charts are not coming in thick and fast. You are a class of 80 students. So the buying rate, I can see so many students from Y, Josam, Peter, Bernard, Kirui, Edith. They are telling me the right thing. That these students have appreciated that the position of the euro. Where is the euro? The euro is on the left-hand side. If the euro is on the left-hand side, automatically this becomes the buy and this becomes the sell. And you're the ones who have told me that the bank does what here? The bank buys. So the bank buys at 1.9510 euros per Australian dollar. Euros per Australian dollar. So the next thing, ladies and gentlemen, will be for us to do what? The next thing, ladies and gentlemen, will be for us to exchange. So go ahead and exchange. Go ahead and exchange. So we are exchanging, this is 1.95. 10 euro equals 1 Australian dollar. How about 395,000 Australian dollar? Cross multiply there. When I cross multiply here, my great students, when I cross multiply here, what am I going to get at the end of the day? If you look at this keenly, it'll be 1.9510 euro times 395,000 Australian dollar divided by 1 Australian dollar. So the Australian dollar will cancel out. So at the end of the day, I'll be having a value which will be in form of what here? Euros. Somebody told here, tells us it is 770, 645. 770, 645 euros. 770, 645 euros. And Peter and Josamala, even Lucy, they've been able to identify where the symbol of euros is. Those are serious students, international students. They've been able to identify correctly where the symbol of euro is in their computers, and they've been able to attach there so nicely. Very good. Very good. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. Here we are. So I don't know up to there whether all of us are comfortable. Can I take this opportunity to take you through money markets? Can we go to money markets, or is there somebody who has got any question regarding forward contracts? Today, money markets, I can see Faith saying yes. Money markets, everyone, I should not even mention any other thing apart from money markets. So mention there, money markets. Now, ladies and gentlemen, when they talk about money markets, these are examiners who are wishing us success, and there are very few in this world. Examiners who are wishing us success will always bring a question like this time round. Taona tu hatukosangi sana mambo ya money markets, So andika hapo money markets jameni, money markets jameni. Na ukishaandika money markets like that, I want you to tell us there. Yeah, someone has a question. That is Maalim. Yes, Maalim. Please ask. Please ask there publicly so that everybody benefits. Or do you want to unmute yourself? Maalim, what I'll do, I'll continue as I wait for you to type. Please allow Mwalimu to continue because I've got 2 areas today, 2 areas to tackle. Finish this money market, and then I do the question of bond, the financing that was brought the other semester. It was done very poorly. So forward contract on inflation. Can you repeat the concept of weaker currency? Between direct and indirect quotation. Asante kwa hiyo maswali yote, lakini nitajibu baada ya darasa. Baada mimi nimemaliza darasa. I've understood on the inflation part. I know what he's talking about. Inflation, ladies and gentlemen, at times these examiners will not be able to give you the forward rate. What they'll do is to give you some amounts, and then they'll ask you to calculate a particular forward rate, perhaps using a method which we shall be calling purchasing power parity, which will be coming, which will be doing in a few minutes after this. Yeah, a few minutes after this, you should be able to look at the P model, right? The one of the issue of direct and indirect quote is confusing. So so many students are asking about that. So we can't now run away from it. Okay, so when we talk over a direct quotation, ladies and gentlemen, a direct quotation is basically a quotation where we are given amount. We are given amount in terms of our home currency. Amount in terms of home currency needed to procure a unit of foreign currency, needed to procure a unit of foreign currency. Amount in terms of home currency needed to procure a unit of foreign what here? Foreign currency. E.g., you could be given like 100 to 101 Kenya shillings per US dollar. There is one time some students told me that Mwalimu, whenever we see these 100 to 101, that one of them should be Kenya shilling, the other one should be what here? The US dollar. No, that will be very wrong. Both of them are what here? Exchange rates. They must be having what here? 2 currencies. So this is Kenya shillings per what here? Per US dollar. This is Kenya shillings as well per US dollar. The same, only that one of these particular parameters is a buying rate. The other one is what here? Is a selling rate. Now, ladies and gentlemen, listen and listen to me very well. Here, I'm being told 100 Kenya shillings equals 1 US dollar. 100 Kenya shillings, this is our local currency. Amount in terms of home currency needed to procure a unit of foreign currency. So if I've got this kind of a quote, then this is what we call the normal quote. Normal quote is also known as what here? A direct quote. It's a normal. And if it's a normal quote, ladies and gentlemen, the bank will always buy low. 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 So this becomes the buy, and this becomes what here? The sell, for it to make a profit. But you don't even have to know, actually this thing of direct and indirect, I'm the one who brings it. You don't have to know about this concept of direct and indirect. What you need to know is the position of your home currency. When I see like here, the Kenya shilling, where is the Kenya? It is on this side, left-hand side. Then the left-hand side figure becomes what? Becomes buy. And then automatically the other one becomes what here? Becomes sell. Because the moment you try really to understand this thing deeply, you will never ever get it well. Unajua kuna vitu ambazo zinataka ujinga fulani. Naona hata kwa Bible, fortunately hizi Bible za Quran zinafanana zote mahali. Kwa Bible kuna mfalme alinaingia kwa maji takataka mara 7. Right? Ingekuwa ni kisasa hivi, ungeingia hata mara moja kwe. Doubt. Wewe aliingia mara. So kuna vitu ambavyo zinataka ujinga fulani. Kama sasa hii ukienda uambue, for example, umepatiwa quote ambayo inakaa hivi Unapatiwa quote ambayo inakaa hivi. Unapatiwa quote ambayo inakaa hivi. Hii quote, examiner anakuja na kuambia, for example, 30 to 33 Uganda shillings per Kenya shilling. So in this particular case, you being a Kenyan, where is the Kenya shilling? Kenya shilling is on the other side. So when the Kenya shilling is on the other side, automatically this is what we call an indirect quotation. And for indirect quotations, the bank will automatically buy in the opposite way. The bank will buy here and they will sell here, like that. Why have I taken the buying to be on the other side? It's because of where the Kenya shilling is, on the right-hand side. And listen to me very well. If, for example, we have Mrs. C. Mrs. C is a Kenyan. Mrs. C is a Kenyan. Who happens to be having, has 66 million Uganda shillings. Uganda akapatiwa 66 million Uganda shillings na Museveni. So anataka umuexchange, na hii ndio exchange rate. Utampatia pesa ngapi? Anataka umuexchange, hebu tusaidie, utampea pesa ngapi jameni? Utampatia pesa ngapi? 2 million. 2 million. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, simply because of what here, look at what these students have been able to know. What these students have been able to know, ladies and gentlemen, is the fact that buy, sell has been defined very well. And then now we have here, Mrs. C, being a Kenyan, has got what here, somebody 66 million Uganda shillings. Meaning that Mrs. C has received foreign money. When she receives foreign money, she has to take this money to a Kenyan bank or whichever bank and asks for her local currency. So Ms. C has to ask for her local currency. So in that case here, you must come and give us the role of what here somebody, the role of the bank. The role of the bank here, remember, this is a receivable. This is a receivable. If it's a receivable, ladies and gentlemen, remember the foreign boyfriend thing. The bank will do what here? The bank will buy. Nimeona Masi akisema ati foreign inamconfuse foreign boyfriend. Hakuna hiyo, lazima uishike vile iko hivyo. Usiposhika hiyo equation utapata 0. Wewe sema tunataka kustika tena currency ya home, you need both things. Lazima ujue hizi currency ya home position iko wapi, ndio ujue buy na sell. Na ndio uweze kudefine role of the bank. Lazima ujue kama ni receivable ama ni payable. Usipojua hiyo straight away the entire question unapotezanga mark yote. 6 kwa forward contract na 6 kwa money market. You get a 0. So the foreign boyfriend, why should it really confuse you? This lady she's received foreign money. And once she receives foreign money, she'll walk with this money to a bank. So it's a situation where a customer has received foreign money and foreign money, the bank's role will always do what here? To buy. So in this case here, the bank will buy at what here? At 33. Will buy at 33 Uganda shillings per Kenya shilling. So once I get this buying rate, now the last thing will be for me to come and exchange. So that 3 Uganda shillings equals 1 Kenya shilling. How about 33, not 33, but 66 million Uganda shillings? Come and put a question mark there. Put a question mark there, and then you should be able to help us. Put a question mark there, and then you should be able to help us. You should be able to help us get what here? You should be able to help us cross multiply nicely. So you cross multiply 66 million times that, divided by that. So many students have been able to get it correctly as 2 million Kenya what here? Kenya shillings. 2 million Kenya shillings. Now, ladies and gentlemen, listen to me very well. After Mrs. C leaves the counter, we have a Mr. D. Mr. D needs the 66 million Uganda shillings from the bank. Mr. D is still a Kenyan. So Mr. D is still a Kenyan. So he is in need of the 66 million Uganda shillings from the bank for purposes of paying a Ugandan supplier. Pata Potea, could you kindly advise me? What do you think in this case here will happen? So the bank will be telling this gentleman to give it how much in form of Kenya shillings. Pata Potea, the bank will sell to him. The bank will sell, yes. So remember this time around, it is Mr. D who is in need of foreign currency. So you are right. So the bank will do what he will sell because Mr. D has some payable to make in the form of foreign currency. So the bank will come and do what here? The bank will sell. The bank will sell. So the bank will sell. So the bank will sell at what rate? At the rate of 30. The rate of 30 Uganda shillings per Kenya shilling. Yes. So go ahead and exchange for us. We have 30 Uganda shillings equals 1 Kenya shilling. How about 66 million Uganda shillings? Please help me out. Some students are telling me that it's supposed to be Kenya shillings, 2.2 million. 2.2 million. And then at the end of the day, your manager may need you to derive, or rather do a profitability statement out of this transaction. Your manager may want to know what is the bank's profit out of this transaction. So the bank's profit will be the revenue. There is this 66 million that we sold to somebody who gave us 2.2 million. And the same 66 million Uganda shilling had cost us 2 million Kenya shillings. So I can see the bank getting a cool profit of 200,000 Kenya shillings. Because anytime they want me to give them the profit, what do we do? It is revenue minus cost. My revenue, when this gentleman called D came, I gave him the 66 million Uganda shillings. He gave me 2.2. And I bought the same money from someone at 2 million. So please never ever make a mistake of telling us that always, whenever you see a rate like this, the smaller one is the buy. No. If you do that, you'll always be getting it wrong. Always work with the position of your home currency. The position of your home currency is the Kenya shilling, which is on the other side. Once you have the Kenya shilling being on the other side, automatically right-hand side, automatically the right-hand figure becomes the buy and the other one becomes the seller. And this kind of an arrangement becomes like that whenever the currency is in question. The currency made reference here is weaker to the Kenya shilling. The Kenya shilling is weaker. Whenever you have a currency which is weaker to the Kenya, to your local currency, then you expect things to be what here in the, but you don't have to go to the weaker thing. You don't have to go to the indirect direct. So long as you know how to shake your hand towards your Kenya shilling, towards your home currency, then you are good to go. You're good to go. Very good, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go back here. Let's go back here. Let's go back here. We go back to money markets. Tell us there very fast that money markets, money markets, money markets, money markets. These are markets. These are markets. These are markets for short term, for short term, for short term lending or short term funds. Short term funds, lending, and of course, what here? Borrowing. Lending stroke borrowing. Lending stroke what here? Borrowing. Lending stroke borrowing. Short term. There are these people who are quite aggressive outside here. There are people who will go, for example, to Standard Chartered Bank. They tell Standard Chartered Bank, right? Allow me to change my battery. Okay, so they will go and tell Standard Chartered Bank that, hey, you guys, I know you are closing at 5 p.m. and will be opening tomorrow at 7, or rather at 9. At 9, right? Instead of sleeping, or rather having this money, but staying in your kuna shida mahali. Hebu tuone kidogo. Are you able to hear mwalimu? 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 Are you able to see? Yes. So the students who are saying there is a problem somewhere, they need to log out and then they come back afresh. They come back afresh. Yes. Yes. Or breaking. On and off. Okay. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, listen and listen to me very well. Instead of that bank having their cash in the reserves for a whole night, there are people who will always go there and do what we call overnight lending. So the bank will only give them that money over the night. I don't know the kind of businesses they do, but at the end of the night, they return that money in the following morning, having made a profit. So whatever business they engage, whenever they talk of overnight lending, whenever they talk of weekly lending, anything that is less than a year where you go and take cash, either you borrow or even lend to a bank, then automatically you are involved in what we call money markets. Money markets, yes. Money markets. I hope now the internet has stabilized. Great. Thank you very much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to money markets, what are you supposed to be knowing? When it comes to money markets, you need the rules. So the rules of money markets, the rules of money markets, the rules of money markets, the rules of money markets. Number one, the rules of money markets, number one, the rules of money markets, number one is FR, BF, bank buys. That's number one. Number two, we have FP, BL, bank sells. So please write this in full. It's a simple thing. Within 5 minutes, all of us will be very comfortable on these issues of what here? Money markets, 5 minutes only. So FRBF. FRBF stands for foreign receipt, borrow foreign. FRBF. FRBF is foreign receipt, borrow foreign. So if you expect to receive some foreign money, perhaps Trump promises to give you some US dollars in 6 months' time. What are you supposed to do in money markets? Run to money markets and say, hey, there is this foreign receipt I'm expecting. So please allow me to borrow today, some foreign currency denominated loan. So foreign receipt, you borrow foreign. Very, very important. Number 2 is the foreign payment, borrow local. This is foreign payment, borrow local. Foreign payment, you borrow what year? You borrow local. Foreign payment, you borrow local. Foreign payment, you borrow local. Foreign payment, you borrow local. Now, for us to be able to understand this concept very well, let's go back to the question that we're doing. Let's go back to our question. This question that we are doing here. And I would want us, it's Roman 2. This November 2017. Roman number 2. Money market cover. And I would want us to start with the 4 months forward. Let's start with the 4 months forward. This is straightforward. 4 months forward. With the transaction, the 4 months what year? Transaction. Let's start with 4 months. 4 months. Money market. 4 months, money market. Great. So, ladies and gentlemen, for 4 months, I would want you to get us started. I would want you to give me the amount involved in these 4 months. How much are we talking about? Leave alone the 3 months first. In these 4 months, how much are we talking about? Please talk to us. In the 4 months, how much are we talking about? $395,000 receivable ama namna gani? I know it's 395,000. Thank you very much. 395,000 Australian dollar, but is it receivable or payable? Receivable. Receivable because it's a figure that came as a result of what year export. So it's a receivable. So if it is receivable, could you kindly tell me which rule of money markets am I going to apply? Because for money markets, I must always be at a position of remembering the rule. I must be at a position of remembering the rule. Very good. It's the foreign boyfriend. Thank you very much. Foreign boyfriend should be the foreign boyfriend rule. That is rule 1. Rule 1. Foreign boyfriend, the bank does what here? The bank buys. Foreign boyfriend buys dinner. Foreign boyfriend buys dinner. What I don't know is whether these local boyfriends like Peter Kinyumu, what do they buy? What do they buy? Because we are told it's only the foreign boyfriends who buy dinner. How about the Peter Kinyumus here? International disaster? International disaster. That's a good story for another day after we shall overcome. We shall overcome. Great. Now, having discovered this, ladies and gentlemen, the next thing that I would want you to do, come and give me the exchange rate. Give me the exchange rate. Remember that money markets makes use of the spot rate alone. The spot rate alone. Money markets. We don't, in this case, ladies and gentlemen, use any other rates, future rates, whatever. We only make use of this. Always. Money markets, we always make use of the spot rate. So could you kindly go to this Australian euro thing and give me the spot rate? Please go to the Australian, to the euro thing, give me the spot rate. Yes. So I want somebody to give me the spot rate. I'm being told here the spot rate. Edith amekuja hapa anasema kwamba the spot rate hapa ile ya karibu pale wamesema ni 1.890 to 1.8920 euro per what here somebody? Euro per Australian dollar. Per Australian dollar. Thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, having identified that, could you kindly tell me between the two, which one are we going to use? Because again, in most cases, you'll get students who will come and add this and this divided by 2, giving us an average. And then they get a 0. Then they keep on wondering, how comes am I failing AFM 4 times? Am I bewitched? No. There are concepts you haven't understood. So we are saying here, the bank is supposed to do what? To buy. So the euro, which is our home currency, is on the left-hand side. So if it's on the left-hand side, the left-hand side figure becomes the buy. The other one becomes what here? Becomes the sell. Becomes the buy. Becomes what here? The sell. Right? Ladies and gentlemen, what does our bank want to do? Our bank, in this case here, wants to buy. And that is why you saw so many students giving me what answer? Giving me this answer of 1.8890 euros per Australian what here dollar? Per Australian dollar. Per Australian dollar. Per Australian dollar. Per Australian dollar. Now, ladies and gentlemen, once I'm there, I'm now good to go. Kama ni swali ya money market, nitakuja saa straight away, nichore meza. Unachora meza mzuri. Lakini hapana wekelea kitambaa juu ya meza. Unachora meza mzuri kabisa namna hiyo. Mguu ya kwanza, unasema namna gani mguu ya kwanza? Always kwa hii meza yangu ya money market, lazima nikuje niseme namna inaitwa table banking. Table banking. Table banking. Kwa hii money market, hii mguu ya kwanza lazima ukuje useme borrow. Mguu ya pili lazima ukuje useme invest. Invest ama lend, like that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what are we borrowing here? Remember our rule. Remember our rule. Foreign boyfriend. Foreign boyfriend. Foreign boyfriend. Foreign receipt, borrow foreign. Foreign receipt, borrow foreign. We have got two currencies involved. We have the euro, we have the Australian dollar. Between the two, which one is foreign? Between the two, which one is foreign? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Great. Great. Remember, our currency is the euro, and you're the ones who have told us, ladies and gentlemen, according to rule number 1, foreign receipt, borrow foreign. So here we shall borrow foreign. We shall borrow foreign. And the foreign, these students have known, it is the Australian dollar. Australian dollar. And then in between here, we convert at spot. And the spot exchange rate, you've given me the one to use. It is 1.8890 euros per Australian dollar. Per Australian dollar. Euros per Australian dollar. Masi anauliza kama nikishika je receivable the bank buys. Utakuwa bado na shida tu. Sababu gani? Hivi ndiko na maana yake. Unaona kuna receipt, kuna borrow foreign. No. So kwa umejua receivable loan is not about the bank just buying. Kuna concept hapa lazima zipelekane. Foreign boyfriend. If it's a foreign receipt, I'll have to borrow what here? Foreign. I'll have to borrow foreign. Great. Great. Haya sasa kujeni hapa. Kama jameni ule mguu moja niliboro Australian dollar and I'm converting here. Of course, you've got two currencies. We have the Australian dollar and the euro. So if one leg there is talking about Australian dollar, then this other leg here will come and talk about what here? Somebody? The euro. So this one here is a leg of the euro. People are really complaining of the network. Is it from my side or from your side? Is it from my side or from my side? Yeah, breaking. Or again. Thank you. I can see a good number. Iko fiti. It's from their side. Thank you and thank you very much. It's from their side. It's from their side. Yep. It's from their side. Haya sasa, naomba mnifanyie favor. Naomba mnifanyie favor. Nikienda kuboro Australian dollar, interest rate itakuwa gani? Interest rate itakuwa gani? Nikienda kuboro Australian dollar. Nikienda kuboro, unaona hapa lending rates, unaona hapa. Nikienda Australian dollar, in Australia, I can see 14 and 16%. Of course, borrowing rate is always higher. So nikienda kuboro Australian dollar, nitachajiwa 16%. I can see so many guys have already come out, getting it correctly. Kwamba if I go borrowing Australian dollars, the rate of interest will be 16%. How about lending the euro? Lending the euro. Lending the euro. Lending the euro. What do I expect, ladies and gentlemen? They're lending. Remember, euro is in France. Euro is a France currency. They told us up there. So it will be 11 point what here? 11.5%. Let me see the answers. Let me see the answers. Let me see the. Thank you very much. Actually, I'm even wasting your time here. You guys are so great. 11.5%. 11.5%. But now remember that these figures are normally annualized. So lazima nikuja hapa I prorate them. So times 4 over 12 plus 1. Na hapa pia times 4 over 12 plus 1. Mnipe figures sasa. Mnipatie figures sasa. Nasema plus 1 because of the compounding and what here? Discounting. Because of the compounding and the discounting, ladies and gentlemen, remember that our amount, if you can remember from primary school, principal into 1 plus, this 1 is for compounding or discounting. According to Rania Maximilian, 1.0533. Great. Unakuja hapa je, hii pande ingine je, times 4 over 12 plus 1. Where did I get the 4 from? 4 months. Remember, our interest rates are normally annualized. So Max Miller again comes and tells us it is 1.0383. 1.0383. Thank you and thank you very much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, after you have done that, now you'll come and give us the money in the question. How much are we looking at? In this money market, how much do we want to hedge really? We started by talking about 395,000 Australian dollar. 395,000 Australian dollar. So Australian dollar mguu yake iko wapi? Mguu ya Australian dollar ndio hii hapa. Kwa hivyo nitakuja kumbuka pesa za money market, unaficha chini kabisa, chini ya meza. Unakuja kwa mguu ya Australian dollar, hapa chini ya meza unaweka 395,000 Australian dollar. Australian dollar. 395,000 Australian dollar. 395,000 Australian dollar. Unaficha chini ya meza. Alafu sasa kazi yako ni kupeleka hizi figures up. Up, we always divide. Up, always divide. So you take this 395,000, divide me an answer. Whole number. Up, we always do what here? We always divide. Pata potea. Up, we are dividing. What answer do we have? Whole number 375, 012. 375, 012. 375, 012. 375, 012. And remember that these are still what here? Australian dollar. Thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the next thing will be for you to convert these and give us money here. In between here, you have an exchange rate. This one. So I would want to be left with euros alone. If I'm the one doing this, I'll be able to see that I should multiply so that the Australian dollar and Australian dollar cancel out. So that I'll be left with the euros. Or I can come and do it in the mother tongue way, where I'll talk of 1.889 euro equals 1 Australian dollar. How about 375, 012 Australian dollar? How about that? Somebody's giving me a figure of 708, 398, 708, 398 euros. Wacha niangalie za wengine pia. Jameni. 708, 397, that is pretty close. Thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment I reach here, the last thing that I need to do now is to drop down the figure. When you're dropping down, remember, down, we always multiply. Down, we always multiply. Down, we always multiply. Up is where we divide. Down, we always multiply. Down, we always multiply. Down, we always multiply. Pata potea. Take this times this figure. Give me a figure to write here. According to Lucy, it should be 735. According to 735, 529 from Max Miller, 529 euros. Thank you and thank you very much. This is the final answer. That is the final answer. Najua wengi tumeona giza kabisa, lakini tarudia. 735, 530 or 529, one the same. Don't rub yours. Don't rub yours. After you reach, ladies and gentlemen, what now I expect you to do is to come and give us a summary. Give us a summary. Give us a summary. Give us a summary for purposes of interpretation. Come here and give us a summary. So a summary, tell us money markets. Money markets, how much are we going to receive? It is 735, 529 euros. And then, ladies and gentlemen, how about the forward contract? How about the forward contract? Forward contract, if you remember, we had done this with you some time back, and we got a figure. The only thing that you need to do is to go to where we had mentioned the forward contract, and then you make reference, you write for us a figure there. I'm so sorry, I know today's lesson has been a tough one. It's a strong injection, but at the end of the day, it's going to help you. It's going to help you. Because I want next time I teach you through Zoom, and these are my prayers. Next time I teach you through Zoom, I would want you to teach you ISPAC meetings, ISPAC seminars. ISPAC seminars after you guys become ISPAC members. I don't want to teach you AFM again. I don't want. This should be the last semester. This should be the last semester. I know that I hate you. It's because actually I love you. I would want in this case here to see you guys succeeding. Yeah, and that is why I'm pronouncing what here a blessing to you. I need to see you guys passing. So I'm being given here forward contract, yes. Figure hawajanipatia figure bado. Forward contract nakuja ngapi? Forward contract figure. Please make reference up there. Make reference up there. I'm waiting to get the answer. 770, 645. 770, 645 euros. So between the two, which one should we work with? Forward contract or money market? Which one do we recommend? Which one do we recommend? Between the two, which one do we recommend? Money market or forward contract? Forward, because we are going to receive more. If we go the forward contract strategy, we are going to get 770 more money. So we recommend forward what year? We recommend forward contract. We recommend forward contract. We recommend forward contract. We recommend forward contract. Sasa, nataka tuassume hatujajua chochote. Tuende ile ya 3 months. Tufanye money market 3 months. Tuende hapa tuseme 3 months. 3 months money markets. Money markets. And if my memory serves me well, we had 171,000 net payable. Net payable. Now pick it from there. I'm giving you exactly 5 minutes. I'm giving you exactly 5 minutes. We see how far you'll go with it. We see how far you will go with it. So remember, we are doing the 171,000 net payable money markets of the same. So 5 minutes are almost over. Oh, I share the question, eh? Okay. There are students who have already gotten the answer. The students who have already gotten the answer. Is there anybody who wants mwalimu to do the question, or all of us are comfortable? Is there anybody who wants mwalimu to do the question, or we are okay? They're coming with different answers. Susan says mwalimu do. Malim says mwalimu do. James has given us the correct answer. Milvector amekuja na yake 172, acha tuone. Luke Yusufu anasema leo nimekolost kabisa. 175 to 30. Na ngoja wa mwisho kabisa lete answer tuone. Jeras anasema hii kusema ukweli ni noma. Moto wa kuotea mbali. Lucas, you don't have a question, a past paper. Lucas, you should be having a past paper. And if you don't have, I'm so sure there are students who have access to them. They should be able to send them to us on WhatsApp. All questions. Yes, they have quite a number of sittings. Aya, asanteni sana. Wacha tufanye pamoja. Max Miller. So answer itakuwa kati ya 169 na 175. Wacha tuone mbivu na mbichi. Nani imepata correct? Asante sana kwa kujaribu. Now the things that I would need, ladies and gentlemen, are quite easy. Number one, if it's a payable, I know that I'm going to use rule 2. Rule 2 is foreign payment, borrow local, and then the bank does what here? The bank sells. Borrow local, and then the bank sells. They're still giving me answers. The bank sells. And then the other thing that I expect to do here, remember it's 3 months, but what do we want? We have to make use of what here? The spot rate. So the spot rate, which is given here, is 0.983 to 0.985. US dollars, per what here somebody? Per euro. Tingiza mkono. Ukitingiza mkono vizuri kabisa, utaona kwamba euro iko pande ile, na kama euro kwa kweli iko pande ile, then the right hand side figure, that's a right hand currency, so the right hand side figure here becomes the buy. This other one here becomes what here? Becomes sell. And you've just told us that the bank is selling. So the bank is selling, bank sells at 0.983, like that. US dollar per what year? Per euro. US dollar per euro. Kutoka hapo sasa unakuja unachapa meza. Sawa, meza kubwa kabisa ya kushtua examiner. Unachapa meza sawa. Unaandika namna hii hata kama uelewi. Unakuja hapo unasema in capital letters, borrow. What are we borrowing? Umesema borrow local. Which currency is our local currency? It is the euro. So borrow local, which happens to be the euro. Unakuja hapo unasema invest, Now invest the other currency. Remember, there are two of them. If I've taken euro here, then on the this other side, we shall be having here US what here? US dollar, like that. Invest US dollar like that. Ladies and gentlemen, could you kindly tell me, borrowing the euro, euro is France, euro is in France, go to the France interest rate and tell us, borrowing the euro in France will be what percent? Dion Songo tells me 13%. Borrowing 13%. Emma confirms that. Borrowing is 13%, the euro. How about investing US dollar or lending? Investing and lending and giving them your money. 10%. There's a question here. Is it a rule? Invest must be on the right-hand side. Yes. Invest must always be on the right-hand side. Borrowing, that's a rule. Must be. Unajua, hii mambo ni kukopesha. Hii mambo ni kukopesha. Kopesha. Anza na kukopesha kwanza. Kukopa. So unakuja hapo unasema, invest the US dollar, of which I can see so many students are giving me 10%. 10%. Thank you very much. 10%. Thank you. What very many students will forget is to prorate the percentage. So prorate the percentage. Ukuje useme hapa, tuko na miezi ngapi? 3/12. Don't forget to say +1. Ukuje hapo useme times 3/12 +1. So please give us the figures. Give us the figures here. Give us the figures here. Give us the figures here. Give us the figures. So Max Miller tells me it's 1.0325. 1.0325. How about the right-hand side figure here? The right-hand side figure. The right-hand side figure. I'm being told here by Emma, 1.025. Thank you very much. Now here, in the middle, we have convert. So I'll always convert at spot. But do you know the spot exchange rate? Do you know the spot exchange rate which you shall be using? Who can give me the spot exchange rate that you shall be using? Who will give me the spot exchange? Yes, Max Miller has seen this. The same case here with Emma. The same case here with Virginia. Wanaume wameenda wapi jameni? Edith, Aure. Wanaume wameenda kulala. Hata mmoja atupatie correct answer. Andrew, thank you very much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the figure you said here, the bank sells 0.983 US dollars per euro. Kutoka hapo unakuja unaficha pesa chini ya meza. Hii pesa tuweke pande gani? Hii ya borrow ama pande ya invest? Hii 171,000 tuweke wapi? 171,000 tuweke wapi? Kwa borrow ama kwa invest? Pata potea. Borrow ama invest? Borrow ama invest? Unapoanza si tofauti, lakini kwanza nawauliza, hii ilikuwa ni $171,000 ama euros? Ilikuwa ni $171,000 ama ni euros? Hii ilikuwa $171,000 ama euro? Dollars, US dollars, Australian dollar, dollars, US dollars. So kwa hivyo kama ni dollars, kama hizi ni US dollars, hauwezi ukapeleka kwa mguu ya euro. Hapo utakomeka mbuzi na kondoo pamoja. So kama ni US dollars, please enda kwa mguu ya invest hapa kwa dola. Weka hapa 171,000 US dollars. Kazi yako ni utoe huku kwote. Up, divide. Please give me a figure. Up, divide. I'm being told by Lucy Naisenya 166,829. Whole numbers only. So here, what do I have? I'm being given a nice figure. They're giving me a nice figure. They're telling me that when they go up we are dividing, and they're getting 166,829. 829. They forgot to tell me whether they are cows or what are they? Of course, they're still US dollar. Now, please get this figure, bring it here. In between there, we have an exchange rate. I need to know whether I should divide or multiply. Andrew is doing a good job. Andrew is doing a good job. He's a representative of the boy child. The boy child. They're telling me, mwalimu, hata tusipojua chochote, as we go to sleep, what we have been made to understand most ni kwamba US dollar and US dollar can never be multiplied. You can only divide. Because if you try multiplying the two, you'll end up getting US dollar what here squared. You'll end up getting US dollar squared. So please divide the two. So this and this, there is a good student who has given me an answer. There is a good student here who has given me an answer. Akaniambia ni 169,714. Anaitwa Okocha Dan. 169,714. Na akajua sana, akaandika jina euros. So kutoka hapa, teremusha chini. Kuteremka chini, ladies and gentlemen, you simply cram. You simply cram. Going down, what do we normally do? We normally multiply. Going down, we normally multiply. Going down, we normally multiply. Going down, we normally multiply. Going down. So I'm being given a figure of 175,230 euros. 175,230 euros. And this being the last figure, this is the figure that we work with. So go and write down a summary. Now, when you guys were giving me your answers earlier on, is there a student who got this answer correctly? Is there any student who got this answer correctly? Any? Is there any student? Yes, I did. Great, 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 great. Many. Thank you very much. Many of us. Thank you very much. Many of us. Now, so come and write for us a summary, and then you tell us which model should we use, forward contract or money markets. Forward contract or money market. Which one should we use? Someone tells me forward. And remember that this is a payment. Payments, you will always advocate for the strategy that will enable you to pay less. Wamechange na mawazo. Wamechange mawazo. Faith alikuwa amesema forward contract. Faith alikuwa amesema forward contract. Nataka kumsikiza Faith kama amechange mawazo mabado. Money market. Thank you very much. Money market. Money market will enable us to do what here? To pay much less. We shall be able to do what here? To save. We shall be able to save. We shall be able to save. So money market is cheaper in that context. So any question, or we go to another question which was given to us by Kasneb. Is there anybody who has any question? Question, yes. Yes, Cindy. Cindy has a question. Yes. Usingizi. Okocha sasa wewe. Okocha. Unasikia usingizi ni mapema. Actually, the day has just begun. The day has just begun. Why did we not use the $240,000? Let me go back to the question. Very good. You see here the $240,000, these are payable or rather receivable in how many months? 3 months. And then we have some other amount here, which is, this is export, payable, export, no. Remember the 240,000. What happened with the 240,000? We imported. So 240,000 is a payable. And then we have 69,000 here, which is a receivable because we exported. Whenever amounts come to us in the same duration, same duration, and then you happen to handle them separately, you'll get a 0 because you are always needed to match or net off figures which fall on the same duration. So I'm explaining this again. There was a 240 year coming in 3 months and this 69,000 in 3 months. So we had to subtract because they are of opposite directions, Great, great. So then, gentlemen, I want to take more questions. Mercy says, the first time we read this, I was seeing stars. I've gotten it today. Hooray! Eureka! This is the power of what here? This is the power of ICT. ICT, you understand better. You pay less with money markets. Thank you very much, Aurelia. Yes. Edith has already been answered that this. We netted off. Thank you very much. We'll be a bit better if we can do one more question. If we can do one more question and without wasting time, without buying into the idea of Okocha. You know, Okocha used to be a very strong Nigerian footballer. Very strong. Angesema anasikia usingizi sasa hivi ule Okocha ule. Yes. May 2016, question number 5, swali ya money markets. Swali ya money markets, May 2016, question number 5, money markets. Na ningeomba msiandike chochote, muone kama mimi naweza nikafanya hiyo swali na 2 minutes. Muone kama mwalimu anaweza kafanya hiyo swali na 2 minutes. Money market peke yake, 2 minutes. Mimi hata ushangaa sana watu wanalialia ati money market ni ngumu. Wapi sasa? Wapi sasa? Wapi? Angalia. Tunaambiwa part B, Jasper Limited is a company based in Nairobi, Kenya, which does business with companies based in TZ. From such trade, Jasper Limited expects the following cash flows in the next 6 months. I can see payments due in 3 months